I remember growing up and watching Ash venture through the Hoenn region and picking up some awesome Pokemon along his way. Sceptile, Swellow, Torkoal, Corphish, Glalie, and of course he was accompanied by Pikachu. And because of this, I want to play through Pokemon Emerald to see if Ash can become the champion. But doing it with Ash's team is too easy. Let's make them shiny. I awake as Ash in the back of a van, because apparently U-Haul don't accommodate for more than 2 people being in a vehicle. I head up to my room, set my clock, break into my neighbour's house, get caught trying to steal a Pokemon, and flee the scene to find this region's professor being attacked by a Pokemon. The first Pokemon I want to hunt for was Treecko, which Ash caught in episode 7 of his Hoenn adventure, and to do so I need to save in front of this bag and soft reset until Treecko shines. For this run I have increased the shiny odds, but not only for myself but for the other trainers as well, so throughout this video you may see that some of the trainers also have shinies. And speaking of shinies, oh my god, no way, no way, no way, I've only been doing this for like 2 minutes, hold on. Let's go, shiny Treecko, that is what I'm talking about, let's go. So yeah, we got Treecko fairly quickly, and as Ash didn't nickname his Pokemon, I won't be either. Before taking on the first gym, there is another Pokemon that I can hunt for to add to my roster, and although they won't be any help against the first gym, it doesn't hurt to have power in numbers. Yes! 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 Finally! Oh my god, I've been here forever! Yes! Shiny Taillow! A naughty natured Guts Taillow is going to be an absolute monster for this team, but their time to shine will come later. Firstly, let's see how Treecko fares against Roxanne. Roxanne, all she wanna do is party all night. Goddamn, Roxanne. As you would expect against a rock-type gym leader, Roxanne's first 2 Pokemon, Geodude, go down to a single absorb each. Nosepass is Roxanne's ace, and after 2 absorbs, Treecko gets it down to the yellow, which prompts its held Oranberry. The following turn, an absorb takes Nosepass down to the yellow once again, but a hard-hitting Rock Tomb takes Treecko down to 20 HP. Roxanne then uses a potion on Nosepass to heal it to nearly full health. An absorb then does barely a quarter, but a second one brings it down to the yellow. Nosepass then misses its next Rock Tomb, but because Nosepass is low on HP, Roxanne pulls out yet another potion. But after a crit absorb, Nosepass is right back to where it started. Another absorb leaves Nosepass in the red, but it strikes back with a Rock Tomb, lowering Treecko's HP and speed. So with that in mind and Nosepass low on HP, I go for a quick attack and... oh. What I meant to say was, after 2 quick attacks, Nosepass crumbles to my mighty Gecko, and I have earned my first gym badge. And to celebrate this victory, Treecko evolves into Grovyle. Nice. With the first gym badge under my belt, or in my case I guess, I leave the gym to see a man getting robbed, and a good person would intervene and assist this poor guy. But there's a new iPhone being released, so... I set sail with my new iPhone in hand and land on the small island of Dewford, home to the second gym. So my strategy for this gym can be summarised in 2 words: Guts, Taillow. The ability Guts allows a Pokemon with a status condition to deal 1.5 times more damage than normal. That paired with Stab or same type attack bonus, Wing Attack, and a naughty nature in addition means that Brawly, in theory, should be a walk in the park. Is what I would like to say, but I feel as though the strat would be majorly overkill for Gym 2. But Taillow still flies through this gym with ease, one-shotting both Machop and Meditite. It then barely doesn't take out Brawly's ace Makuhita, but thanks to the barrier that Makuhita was holding, it heals back up to around half after a wasteful bulk up. One more Wing Attack and gym badge number 2 has been easily obtained. Thanks to that Brawly, Taillow did need to stretch their wings. Speaking of birds, we're playing Messenger Pigeon as the new iPhone we received came with an inconvenient task. And that was to deliver this letter to a strange man in a cave, but it wasn't for nothing as he thanks us with the TM for Steel Wing. The next gym requires us to head through the small seaside town of Slateport. Whilst here I head to the museum to learn about water and such, as Hoenn is like 99% water. But when speaking to the researcher, we are ambushed by Team Aqua. And do you know who likes taking on water types? And that's right, my grass type Grovyle. He deals with the 2 grunts with ease and inspires Taillow to evolve into a nice and powerful Swellow. Before I can challenge the 3rd gym leader, my rival awaits on Route 110, and this is notorious in many challenges as a run ender. But thankfully, this isn't a Nuzlocke, and we have a Guts boosted Swellow. So, Swellow leads the battle and one-shots Wingull with a quick attack. May must have been inspired by her dedication to a shiny hunt Pokemon and went back and got herself a shiny Combuskin, which also gets one shot by Wing Attack, and Lombre also faces the same fate and forced to a Wing Attack. This is power. Guts Stab boosted Swallow. After entering Moorville City, I pick up a new bike from the shop, which makes commuting so much easier. But before heading to the gym, I run into an old friend, Wally. I helped him at the start of my journey by catching a Pokemon, and since then, he still hasn't gotten any stronger, as a single pursuit takes down his rolls with no issue. But the easy battles end here. Moorville's gym is full of electric type Pokemon, and with a flying type and a grass type, our chances aren't looking good. But despite my chances, I took this challenge head on again and again and again, and it didn't go well. With only 2 Pokemon on my team, one weak to electric and one that is resisted by electric, my chances of winning are next to none. But some of you keen-eye viewers would have noticed that at this point in the anime, Ash is missing quite a vital part of his team. I guess you could say it's quite shocking that we hadn't gotten this Pokemon sooner. But thanks to my friend Magnus, I was able to adjust my very legitimate copy of Pokemon Emerald to lure Pikachu into Route 110, and after a little while of hunting, I run into a shiny Pikachu. Will this be enough to obtain the 3rd gym badge? Let's find out. I start off the battle well with a Guts boosted Quick Attack from Swallow, which takes Voltorb down in one hit. Electrike also faces the same fate and falls to Swallow's Rapid Strike. Manectric is out next, and instead of hitting Manectric down to the yellow with a Quick Attack, which means Watson would have used his potion to heal up, I instead use a Wing Attack, which leaves Manectric just above half. It then counters back with a super effective Shockwave, and Swallow barely hangs on in the red, but then heals up using an Orange Berry, which means Swallow hangs on long enough to take down Manectric with a Quick Attack, leaving only Watson's last Pokemon, Magneton. Swallow unfortunately falls at the end of the turn, but considering it's a flying type, to take out 3 Pokemon in this electric type gym is still really impressive. Pikachu then tags in and manages to get off a few slams before going down to Magneton's Shockwave. Grovyle comes in to save the day and hits a Rock Smash and shakes off a Paralysis, and then finishes off the Nightmare Gym challenge with a crit Rock Smash. And that's the Dynamo badge finally secured. To celebrate finally beating the 3rd gym, I decided it was time to seek out a fiery new addition to the team, and Torkoal fits that role perfectly. With my new turtle friend added to the team, I venture through Fall Arbor Town, see a turf war between Team Magma and Team Aqua. They split up and I find Team Magma atop Mount Chimney, but manage to take them down with ease? Geez, Swallow, cutting it close there, mate. With Team Magma taken care of, our fiery challenges don't stop there, as Gym 4 is Flannery. But thankfully, Grovyle was able to clear Numel out with ease, but Grovyle's next Leaf Blade leaves Camerupt on half before getting sizzled by an overheat. But with my own fire type ready for its first taste of blood, and after using every profanity under the sun, so its attack and defense stat are sky high, it is easily able to take care of Camerupt, Slugma, and finally, Flannery's non-shiny Torkoal. That's 4 down, 4 to go. I'll be the first person to admit, yeah, I have daddy issues, but Ash never knew his dad. Until now. Well, I thought it was his dad, but apparently it's just some normal type specialist, Norman. But Ash has his own normal type up his sleeve. With Swallow being paralyzed and having the Guts ability, it's able to take down Spinder, Vigoroth, and Linoon in one hit each, before going down to Slacking. But because Slacking attacked on this turn, it means that Grovyle can get off a Leaf Blade. We can then go for an old Dig and Truant strategy. So basically when Grovyle goes underground, Slacking will attack, and when Grovyle comes up and hits with a Dig, Slacking will be loafing around until eventually, boom. Not only is that gym badge number 5, but we also get the HM for Surf. With the ability to surf, I pick up the Good Rod and head back to Petalburg to fish up a shiny I said to pick up a shiny Corphish. There we go, that's better. En route to Fortree City and the next gym, I come across scientists who have been held hostage by Team Aqua, and with them rescued and safe, I put May in their place, which brings Ash to Fortree City. Winnona's team of 5 flying type Pokemon may pose a bit of a threat, as the only Pokemon that has a type advantage is Pikachu, which swiftly handles Winona's Swablu with a crit Thunderbolt. Altaria though is different gravy, as it tanks a Thunderbolt like it's nothing and one-shots Pikachu with an Earthquake. Altaria may be strong, but Torkoal is as well, and after exchanging Body Slam and Earthquakes, eventually Ash's shiny turtle comes out on top. But there are still 3 Pokemon to take down. Pelipper comes in next and hits a Water Gun on Grovyle, and after a few Leaf Blades, the Toilet Duck goes down. Winona has her own shiny, being Tropius, and Grovyle is able to get off some decent damage before going down to a handful of Aerial Aces. But Swellow swoops in with a wing attack to leave only one Pokemon left, and that's a shiny Skarmory. It's now a bird-on-bird fight, and after taking the lead with damage, Winona cheats and uses a potion, which gives Skarmory the upper hand and takes down Swellow. Ash's newest recruit fancies a taste of the action and takes down the final member of the 6th gym with a couple of surfs. With 6 badges in Ash's case, I hear trouble atop a Mount Pyre and find Team Aqua causing no good yet again, and pick up the Magma emblem from the old couple after saving them. With the emblem in hand, I can head into Mount Chimney and stop Maxie from unleashing havoc on the world, but alas, after besting him in a battle, Groudon still escapes, and you think the troublemaking stops there. But no. Team Aqua steals a submarine from Slateport, so once again I chase after Team Aqua back to their base in Lily Cove, where I also find a Master Ball, which I never end up actually using. But despite catching up to Archie and his team, they manage to get away from me whilst his admin holds me up in a pointless battle. But until I have the 7th badge, there is nothing else I can do. Gym 7 gives us a new level cap, meaning that Grovyle can evolve just in time for this double battle. Sceptile and Corphish star in their starting lineup against Xatu and Claydol. A quick crit Leaf Blade sends Claydol back to the bench and brings in Shiny Solrock before Xatu hits a big Psychic. Psychic Widowy wipes out the Widowobster. An exchange of attacks from both halves on the following turn leaves 3/4 of the field low on HP. Xatu and Solrock then go down to a Leaf Blade and Thunderbolt each, leaving only Lunatone. Lunatone tanks a Leaf Blade and a Thunderbolt on 1 HP before a Psychic from the Rocky Moon takes out Ash's ace. But one more Leaf Blade and the terrible twosome hand over the penultimate gym badge. Ash's famous battling skills have been called upon once again by Steven Stone to help deal with Team Magma. Naturally they fall, meaning I can give chase to the other Team Clowns trying to ruin the world. Archie deserves the same treatment as Maxie does, and despite beating Archie in a battle, Kyogre still manages to escape. And with the world either being scorched or drowned, Ash calls upon his main character energy and seeks out the almighty Rayquaza to help settle this weird climate change situation. And after finding the Cloud Noodle on Sky Pillar, it hears our plea and the coolest cutscene in Pokemon history takes place.
Fuck off.
And now all is good in the world. Team Magma and Aqua go their separate ways, and Ash can challenge one for the final gym badge. But firstly, Ash's final team member needs recruiting. A Snorunt, which evolves into Glalie. One has 5 Pokemon, and his first is Luvdisc, which gets struck down by a Leaf Blade from Sceptile, and the same goes for Celio. Kingdra on the other hand is a little tougher, a Leaf Blade barely even doing a quarter, and Kingdra setting up a double team which comes into play when Sceptile misses its next Leaf Blade, and Kingdra restores its health with a rest. It has a held Chesto Berry, so it wakes up instantly too, so a switch into Glalie seemed like the right move, but with Kingdra setting up multiple double teams and using rest, Glalie was only able to get off a couple hits before getting set back to square one. Glalie was able to hit one more Ice Beam before going down to multiple Water Pulses. Pikachu jumps into the battle next and hits a Thunder Wave as Kingdra lands a Water Pulse doing a big chunk of damage. With Kingdra now paralysed, Pikachu is able to work overtime and hit a couple of Thunderbolts, taking down one's ace. Which means with Sceptile in full fighting form, he's able to demolish the rest of one's team, which in turn rewards Ash with the final badge of the Hoenn region. As we head towards the endgame, we have a Wally fight to take on. But whilst we do, I just wanted to say thank you. If you made it this far into the video, I really did enjoy doing this, and I believe this would have been impossible as a Nuzlocke. But I'd love to hear from you guys on what type of challenges you would like to see on the channel. Leave your ideas and thoughts down in the comments below, and whilst you're down there, it doesn't hurt to drop a sub and a like as well. But now that Ash has left Victory Road, there's only 5 more battles to go. Let's do this. Sceptile deals good damage against Sydney Mighty Yenna with a Leaf Blade and an Aerial Ace, and due to Mighty Yenna's recoil, it goes down with Sceptile in the yellow. Absol comes in second and misses a Rock Slide as I swap into Swellow. Swellow's return barely doesn't take out Absol before it heals up with a berry, and it successfully hits a Rock Slide, leaving Swellow on a quarter. The next return takes down Absol, which then in turn brings in Shiftry. Swellow's Fly continues to miss Shiftry as it sets up multiple double teams, so now I either need to bank on a move that doesn't miss, or stupid luck. Glalie, feeling stupid lucky, comes in and misses straight away. Great. An extra sensory does little damage before an Ice Beam on the following turn actually hits and freezes. What are the odds of that? Don't actually tell me the odds, I don't care. One more headbutt and Shiftry has been dealt with, and a single Ice Beam later wipes out Cacturn. Crawdon is the last Pokemon in Sydney's team, and surely Pikachu can handle that. Right? Right? Oh, come on, fine. You know what? Sceptile can handle this though. 1 down, 4 to go. Phoebe is a master of ghost types and has a Dusclops in her first slot. Glalie Crunch doesn't do much, but it does enough that the curse that Dusclops uses takes it to the red. Naturally, Phoebe uses a full restore, but Glalie is pissed and lands a crit, taking down Phoebe's first Pokemon. The curse is rapidly whittling away at Glalie's HP as another Dusclops comes in. I swap into Swellow thinking a Shadow Ball was coming, and of course a Rock Slide hits, taking Swellow to under half, but thankfully a crit fly does big damage before a Rock Slide takes out Swellow. Dusclops holding a Citrus Berry, bringing it back to nearly half, and because of that, Sceptile's Leaf Blade doesn't take it out, and Sceptile gets hit to 93 HP before it can finish off the Cyclops. Sceptile is able to take out Bayonet with 2 Leaf Blades, but Sceptile is now weak and in the yellow, which means Phoebe Sableye is able to survive a Leaf Blade and take out Sceptile with a Shadow Ball. Pikachu sees an opportunity with Sableye being low on HP and comes in to go for a Thunderbolt, but Phoebe uses a full restore, but this isn't Pikachu's first rodeo and knows that a crit will take down the full HP Sableye. And it does, but Pikachu isn't strong enough to take a Shadow Ball and falls to a single hit. Torkoal should be able to handle things from here, but not without a struggle as a crit Thunderbolt hits hard and Torkoal counters back with a finishing blow and sizzles Phoebe's last Pokemon with a Flamethrower. The first Pokemon of Glacier's team is Celio, and it survives in the red after a Leaf Blade and sets up Hail. Naturally, Glacier heals up, and it's all in vain. After 2 more Leaf Blades, Celio goes down, and then in comes Celio. I mean, surely there are other ice types to pick from, right? Surely. What a shock. It survives in the red yet again, sets up an attack which comes into play on the next turn as Sceptile is unable to finish the job and goes down to a Blizzard. Swellow on the other hand can land a return and returns Celio to its Pokeball. Yeah, I'm not too proud of that joke either, but I thought it, so I said it. Anyway, Swellow doesn't stop there on its rampage as a crit Steel Wing sends Glalie packing, and the odds may be in my favour as another crit Steel Wing does the same for the next Glalie. Glacier's Ace Walrein is bulkier than Glalie though, and eats a Steel Wing before striking down Swellow with an Ice Beam. Pikachu comes out and hits a Thunderbolt but doesn't manage to finish the job, and Ice Beam takes out... oh, never mind. With 2 HP and a Dream, Pikachu finishes off Glacier's final Pokemon, meaning there is only one trainer standing between Ash and the champion battle. Drake, the Dragon user, only has 2 weaknesses, and thankfully, Ash's team has one of them in Glalie. An Ice Beam takes down Shelgon, and after getting dropped to a half by Flygon's Earthquake, an Ice Beam shocks Flygon out of the air. Drake's Ace is unfortunately quad weak to Ice types, and after missing a Rock Slide, Glalie is able to take down the Dragon Flying Salamence in one shot. Altaria swoops in next, and not knowing what Drake has in mind, I use Protect as it sets up a Dragon Dance and smacks Glalie down to 11 HP with a stab double edge. But there's plenty of life left in Glalie as an Ice Beam clips Altaria's wings as well. Kingdra is the last Pokemon standing between Ash and the champion, and Glalie's fought the good fight and goes down to a Surf. Pikachu's Thunderbolt doesn't even do a quarter before going down to a Dragon Dance boosted Body Slam, but Pikachu left a little parting gift and paralyzes Kingdra, which means Sceptile can unleash 2 powerful Leaf Blades, and this results in Ash beating the entirety of the Elite Four with his Hoenn team. 1 battle remains. Let's do this. Champion Wallace, a water type user and the final trainer standing between Ash and the champion title. He starts with a Wailord and I with Sceptile, and after a single Leaf Blade the whale Pokemon goes down. Wallace goes all guns blazing and sends in his ace Milotic, who survives on around half after a Leaf Blade and counters back with an Ice Beam. A held Citrus Berry restores Milotic's HP at the end of the turn though. Another Leaf Blade predictably doesn't take out Milotic, and an Ice Beam puts an end to my starter's battle. Pikachu comes in to do its best as Wallace heals his ace, but Pikachu barely does anything before Milotic gets swapped out into Whiscash, making Pikachu's next Thunderbolt null and void. Glalie comes in and exchanges attacks with Whiscash until it too inevitably falls. Corphish tries its best with Surf but also goes down after a couple of attacks. Half of Ash's team are down, and in comparison to one of Wallace's. Swellow swoops in to finish off Whiscash to try and lower Wallace's numbers. Tentacruel is next in, and Swellow goes for a double team, but it's Tentacruel's next attack which may have sealed Wallace's fate. Toxic. And what's Swellow's ability again? Guts. A return one-shots Tentacruel, finishes off Milotic, strikes down Ludicolo, and with a slither of HP left, Swellow uses the last of its energy to land a critical hit return to take Wallace's Pokemon down, which means after years of wondering, I can finally stop questioning the age-old question and know that Ash Ketchum can and has become the champion of the Hoenn region.